global protests targeting Tesla, demonstrators gathering around the world and from coast to coast in the U.S.
Tesla's story has led to one of the biggest talks in the automotive industry. Once seen as a leader in new ideas, the company is now facing some public backlash and protests. Recently, issues such as technical problems, delays in production, and growing quality worries have caused frustration among customers and experts. Elon Musk, the owner of Tesla, is at the center of these talks. He is making comments and daring choices, stirring strong opinions. But how did Tesla, a company that once defied every odd, revolutionized an entire industry, and made electric cars the future, end up in this storm of backlash? To understand today's chaos, we must rewind to where it all began. Tesla's origin and innovations. Tesla began as a brave experiment with a simple idea to create electric vehicles that could stand toe-to-toe with the existing gasoline cars. In the early days, a small group of engineers and enthusiasts worked relentlessly with limited resources. Every design, every prototype, and every late-night test drove a mission to prove that electric power could deliver performance, efficiency, and a fresh vision for transportation. From the very first sketches on a whiteboard to the assembly of the initial models, the team worked with an uncompromising commitment to innovation. In those early moments, the focus was not only on creating a car, but also on rewriting the rules of the automotive industry. Tesla's first vehicle broke barriers by offering a design that was as distinct as it was functional. With every technical challenge, the engineers learned valuable lessons that drove them to refine their approach. The breakthrough was not sudden, but came through years of perseverance and countless experiments. As the first models hit the road, there was a notable sense of promise in the air, an idea that had the power to transform not just the way people travel, but the entire concept of what a car could be. The company's early innovations set it apart from established competitors. Instead of following standard manufacturing methods, Tesla opted for a more agile approach. Every new model was the result of trial and error, and every flaw was seen as an opportunity to improve. Early adopters could not be described as customers. They were partners in a journey toward a new future. With each test drive, the vehicle proved that electric cars were not a compromise, but a step forward in design and performance. As word spread, investors began to notice. The promise of a cleaner, more efficient vehicle connected with those who believed in the power of technology to change lives. Tesla's breakthrough models inspired excitement and hope, while also laying the groundwork for what would later become a greatly discussed enterprise. The story of Tesla's origins is one of raw ambition, a determined effort to challenge the norms of an industry that had grown complacent. Every innovation was a reflection of the company's belief that change was possible, even when faced with skepticism and limited resources. The early success of Tesla was celebrated widely. Car lovers were amazed by the performance and design of these new vehicles. At the same time, automotive experts began reassessing their understanding of automotive technology. Tesla's debut was largely seen as a product launch and also as the ignition of a movement. This movement promised not only better cars, but a cleaner, more sustainable future. The path was never easy, but the foundation was firmly set. With each milestone achieved, the company reinforced its commitment to a vision that challenged both existing rules and people's expectations. Tesla's origins remain a powerful reminder that great ideas often come from humble beginnings, and that the courage to innovate can alter the course of history. But just as Tesla was riding the wave of triumph, something started to go wrong. The same cars that promised perfection began betraying their owners. What began as whispers of frustration soon exploded into a firestorm of backlash. This is where the cracks started to show. The onset of a massive backlash. Tesla's initial promise soon encountered serious challenges as customers began reporting shocking problems. Early users experienced issues with sudden braking, software glitches, and battery malfunctions. These problems kept reoccurring, ultimately forming a pattern that eroded trust.
Owners reporting their cars being keyed and vandalized.
Drivers noted that their vehicles often reset unexpectedly, controls were not responding, and performance was inconsistent. As these technical issues grew more frequent, the excitement surrounding Tesla quickly diminished. The pattern of faults spread rapidly as more users shared their experiences online. Detailed accounts in forums and social media highlighted long waits for repairs, unclear communication from service centers, and a failure to meet the high expectations set during launch events. Each reported malfunction added to a growing list of concerns about the company's quality control. What was once seen as cutting-edge innovation soon appeared as rushed production and compromised standards. Automotive experts began to scrutinize Tesla's rapid scale-up. They observed that the drive to meet aggressive production targets left insufficient time for thorough testing. This imbalance led to recurring issues that took away confidence in the brand. Technical glitches became a recurring topic in media reports.
Tesla just continues to disappoint. Is this
focusing on incidents such as battery failures in cold weather, abrupt system resets on highways, and unexpected loss of control during critical moments? These issues conveyed a consistent message. High-speed expansion had come at the cost of reliability. Customer dissatisfaction soon reached a critical level. Every technical fault was met with frustration, and individual complaints aggregated into a widespread movement. Consumers who once supported Tesla now question its ability to deliver on its promises. This skepticism was not only limited to online discussions, but also manifested in organized actions. Local consumer groups began holding demonstrations near service centers, demanding improved quality and transparency. Their protests were controlled, but they determined to have their voices heard, emphasizing the need for immediate fixes and better communication. The backlash extended beyond individual complaints to affect the company's market performance. As negative reviews increased and media coverage intensified, investor confidence dropped. Stock prices fluctuated, and financial analysts expressed concern over the sustainability of Tesla's growth model. The combined impact of technical setbacks, poor customer service, and continuous media scrutiny painted a clear picture. Tesla, once celebrated as the future of automotive innovation, now faces significant public and financial doubts. Within Tesla, internal discussions grew intense as engineers and managers confronted the reality that rapid production had led to oversight in quality assurance. They even held meetings to address their recurring faults, yet solutions seemed slow compared to the increasing criticism. The pressure within the company grew as every new complaint and repair delay added urgency to reform efforts. Moreover, people reacted as soon as they experienced these problems and were firm about their actions. Social media platforms became forums for discussing the issues of failures. Videos and posts documented issues in real time, further intensifying scrutiny. Users described technical faults and poor service with clarity, sharing their frustrations openly. Each shared experience contributed to a broader narrative questioning Tesla's commitment to quality. Ultimately, the onset of the massive backlash was a convergence of multiple factors. Technical faults, rushed production, and weak customer support combined to trigger widespread discontent. The initial thrill of innovation was replaced by a collective demand for accountability and reliability. Tesla now faces a simple choice: address these shortcomings effectively or risk losing its standing permanently. As the backlash grew, every reported fault and delay deepened the overall sense of betrayal among Tesla's supporters. Customers who once embraced the promise of a new era now demanded immediate and lasting changes. Every piece of evidence contributed to a growing consensus that rapid expansion must be matched with genuine quality improvements. The backlash was not a sudden event, but the result of an ongoing failure to balance innovation with reliability. Every technical fault, every missed repair deadline, and every dissatisfied customer added to the increasing pressure on Tesla. These challenges, when viewed together, demand a complete overhaul of the company's quality controls and customer relations. Only then can Tesla hope to restore trust and reclaim its position as a leader in automotive innovation. Tesla must now act swiftly. The company's future critically depends on resolving these issues, regaining customer confidence, and proving that innovation and reliability can coexist harmoniously in a competitive market. Elon Musk, the unfiltered persona. At the center of the storm stands Elon Musk, a man whose words and actions have come to embody both Tesla's promise and the controversy surrounding it. He is not a man who hides behind corporate spin. He speaks with raw honesty, often unfiltered and direct. Elon Musk's words cut through the noise, words that show his true beliefs about the challenges of innovation and the price of radical change. Elon Musk has repeatedly expressed that the challenges Tesla faces are an inevitable part of pursuing a transformative vision. His blunt comments on production issues, customer complaints, and the relentless pace of technological advancement leave no doubt that he is aware of the growing criticism. With a blunt tone, he stated that all the setbacks he faced with his company, Tesla, were simply a necessary part of forging a new path. His approach is not to offer excuses, but to face the challenges head-on, without sugarcoating the difficulties involved in disrupting an established industry. Elon Musk sounds defiant when he talks about the criticisms he is getting from some people.
On Trump and Musk and his mates is by trying to destroy.
He makes it clear that criticism is not a sign of failure, but a byproduct of attempting to change the world. He does not mince words when it comes to the realities of scaling up production. Instead, he points to the inevitability of growing pains, emphasizing that the road to revolution is filled with obstacles that must be overcome, no matter how harsh the public reaction. He has also been forthright about the impact of regulatory pressures and political interference. He acknowledges that navigating government policies and bureaucratic challenges is part of the process. With an unapologetic attitude, he has talked about how the demands of compliance and the burden of constant oversight add to the complexity of running a cutting-edge company. His comments show a deep-seated belief that, while the challenges are significant, they are not insurmountable if one remains committed to the original vision. The persona Elon Musk's project is one of relentless drive, a man who is willing to take immense personal and professional risks in the name of progress. His words reflect the sacrifices he has made along the way: long hours, personal investments, and the burden of public expectation. Every statement he makes is a reminder that there is no easy way to change an industry that has stood for over a century. His directness has earned him both great loyalty and criticism. Some see his candor as a breath of fresh air, while others view it as reckless bravado. Despite the turmoil, Elon Musk's narrative remains consistent. He does not back down from challenges or try to soften the blow of difficult truths. Instead, he embraces the chaos, using every criticism as fuel to drive further innovation. You can see how determined he is in every interview and public appearance. He is always open and honest about the challenges and successes of running a company that is changing the world. For Elon Musk, there is no alternative but to push forward no matter how steep the price. His unfiltered persona is both his strength and the source of much of the controversy that surrounds Tesla today. Public unrest, protests, riots, and vandalism. When frustration reaches a tipping point, words are no longer enough, and anger turns into action. Across several cities, continuous disappointment with Tesla shifted from online complaints to physical protests. In many areas, groups of people gathered near Tesla service centers and production sites, holding signs that demanded better quality, clearer communication, and more reliable service. What began as peaceful marches soon escalated into more forceful actions as repeated technical issues, such as sudden braking faults, software glitches, and long repair delays, left owners feeling abandoned. In the early days of the protest, those who once admired Tesla united to demand accountability. They assembled calmly at first, presenting their concerns through well-organized sit-ins and public meetings. As days passed and issues remained unresolved, the mood darkened. Crowds grew larger and tensions escalated, with some demonstrations turning into riots. Angry groups clashed with local police, and in a few cases, lack of order spread rapidly. Reports emerged of vandalism. Graffiti was sprayed on Tesla vehicles, windows at service centers were shattered, and some acts of arson were noted. These actions, though spontaneous, reflected deep-seated anger over unmet promises. The unrest was not limited to one city. Multiple towns experienced similar episodes on the same days. This widespread response displayed a national sentiment, a belief that companies that claim to lead technological change must also uphold strong standards of reliability and customer care. The persistent technical faults and unaddressed concerns had united disparate communities in their frustration. As more people took to the streets, the public outcry intensified, showing that the anger was not a momentary reaction, but a sustained effort to force change. Social media played a crucial role in this transformation. Videos and images of protests, clashes with law enforcement, and acts of vandalism were shared widely, reaching thousands of viewers. These online posts captured the raw emotion of the demonstrations and spread the message quickly, rallying even more support. People used these platforms to share their personal experiences of vehicle issues and poor service, which further amplified the collective voice of discontent. The digital sphere became an extension of the streets, where every shared photo and video added weight to the call for accountability. Local leaders and community organizers also felt the pressure. In several instances, municipal officials were compelled to hold emergency meetings with residents and representatives from Tesla. These discussions, however, often stalled due to the intensity of emotions and the long history of broken promises. Residents argued that Tesla had repeatedly failed to address known issues, leaving them with a growing sense of betrayal. The demands were simple: fix the problems, improve service, and honor the commitment to quality that had once been promised. The unrest was obvious. Broken glass, vandalized cars, and damaged shopfronts became symbols of a community's disappointment. News outlets reported on the damage, and images of the vandalism quickly circulated, bringing even greater attention to the scale of the problem. These scenes not only tarnished Tesla's image, but also raised questions about how a company known for innovation could face such deep-rooted consumer backlash. The impact of the protests extended beyond Tesla alone. In areas where demonstrations grew violent, local businesses reported disruptions, and neighborhood security had to be increased. The unrest created insecurity and tension in communities that had once embraced the promise of progress. Residents expressed concerns not just for the future of Tesla, but for the safety and stability of their neighborhoods. What began as a peaceful plea for improvement evolved into a sustained public demand for accountability. The progression from calm protests to riots and vandalism showed that the anger was both deep and enduring. The act of vandalism, clashing with police, served as a powerful statement against a company perceived to have fallen short of its promises. The continuous public action sent a clear message: consumers would no longer tolerate a gap between promised innovation and the reality of poor quality and service. The public unrest surrounding Tesla is a clear sign of deep-rooted anger and disappointment. The shift from orderly protests to violent outbreaks and property damage illustrates how sustained technical failures and poor customer support can ignite widespread public action. The physical and digital evidence of this unrest has pushed local leaders to take notice, highlighting the need for more strong consumer protection and accountability measures. Ultimately, these incidences explain the idea that when expectations are repeatedly broken, a community will demand change by any means necessary. But this backlash wasn't just playing out in the streets, it was exploding across screens everywhere. And when did millions of angry customers start sharing their horror stories? That's when the real firestorm began. Media frenzy and the consumer outcry. In today's world, news travels fast, and every event is shown to millions of people almost immediately. When problems arise at Tesla, these issues quickly become the focus of news channels, online media, and social networks. Reports of production delays, quality problems, and customer protests fill headlines across the nation. What began as excitement over innovation now turns into a storm of criticism. All new complaints and minor failures are picked up and shared widely, creating a picture of a company struggling to meet its promises. Local TV stations run special segments on these issues, with reporters interviewing frustrated customers and industry experts. Social media platforms buzz with posts from Tesla owners who share their real-life experiences. Videos of long service waits, surprising vehicle malfunctions, and unsatisfactory repair experiences go viral, reaching thousands within hours. These clips capture the voices of people who feel let down. Their honest words are repeated again and again, adding to the growing chorus of discontent. Many customers praise Tesla's technology but are disappointed by poor customer service. When a car breaks down or a repair is delayed, the story is retold by dozens of people online. The focus shifts from the promise of a cleaner, innovative future to the real daily problems that owners face. This human side of the story is what grabs attention. It goes beyond advanced engineering and focuses on its impact on people's lives. Customers feel that their trust has been broken, and their anger spreads as they share their experiences with family and friends and on social media. Public protests have also come out as a strong response to these service issues. In several cities, groups of Tesla owners have gathered outside service centers, holding simple signs and speaking about their frustrations. These protests are shown on local news channels, which capture the sight of determined people standing up for what they believe should be better service and accountability. The images of angry crowds and tense moments with security forces reinforce the feeling that the problems are serious and widespread. Local newspapers have joined in the coverage by telling the personal stories of those affected. Reporters travel to different regions to interview people who rely on their vehicles for everyday life. Their experiences clearly describe the hardships of dealing with constant repair delays, poor communication, and recurring technical problems. These stories remind everyone that behind each headline, a real person is facing real inconvenience. Families, commuters, and individuals share how the issues impact their daily routines, making the news not just a story about a company, but about lives disrupted by ongoing problems. This relentless media coverage has increased the pressure on Tesla to make changes. Each news story and every shared video add to the growing demand for the company to improve its customer service and product reliability. Tesla now faces a challenge that goes beyond creating innovative vehicles. It must also rebuild trust with its customers. The consumer outcry, amplified by media channels, makes it clear that good technology alone is not enough. People want to see clear communication, prompt repairs, and an honest effort to fix problems. Some news outlets have tried to show that progress takes time and that growing pains are normal for any pioneering company.
I mean, who is this guy? The world's richest guy comes in and just starts taking a wrecking ball to our government?
However, even these reports stress that the level of service currently provided does not match the high promises Tesla once made. In an age when every mistake is shared immediately, even minor issues become part of a larger narrative of disappointment. The ongoing coverage forces everyone to question whether Tesla can live up to the ideals it once represented. The continuous flow of media reports and social media posts has changed public opinion. Former fans now look at the brand with caution, wondering if the company can truly deliver a better future if it cannot take care of its customers today. The repeated stories of poor service, coupled with vivid images of protests and angry customer experiences, shape a public image that is hard to ignore. Consumers now demand that Tesla fix not only its vehicles, but also its approach to customer care. In the end, the combined force of media coverage and the consumer outcry form a powerful call for accountability. It shows that when a company's promises fall short of everyday reality, people will speak up and make their voices heard. The pressure from the media and the consumers forces Tesla to re-examine its practices, improve communication, and work harder to meet the needs of its owners. This dynamic, driven by real stories and simple, honest expressions of frustration, will continue to influence Tesla's path forward as it strives to regain the trust it once enjoyed. Political and corporate maneuvers. When a company reaches the magnitude of Tesla, its challenges extend beyond the factory floor and into the halls of government. As the backlash grew, political figures began to scrutinize Tesla's practices, and corporate leaders scrambled to regain control of the issue. This goes beyond technical challenges. It is a story of power, influence, and the difficult decisions made when innovation collides with public expectations. Lawmakers have taken a hard look at Tesla's operations. Officials demanded clear answers regarding safety protocols, quality control, and the overall management of production processes. There is a growing sentiment that a company of Tesla's size and influence should not be allowed to operate without thorough oversight. This scrutiny has led to calls for stricter regulations and more transparent reporting practices, a direct response to the growing evidence of repeated shortcomings. Within the corporate world, the pressure has been equally intense. Top executives and managers have sat together to address the crises that have arisen from both technical failures and public discontent. They have focused on reforming production methods and overhauling customer support systems. Strategies are being redrawn, and processes are being reviewed to ensure that every fault is corrected and that future errors are prevented before they ignite public fury. These maneuvers are not mere damage control. They are part of a bigger strategy to restore confidence among investors, customers, and regulators alike. Political pressure and corporate urgency have combined to create a complex landscape. On one hand, government officials insist that companies like Tesla must be held to a higher standard, ensuring that innovation does not come at the expense of safety and quality. On the other hand, corporate leaders are striving to balance the need for rapid progress with the practicalities of large-scale production. All decisions made now carry weight far beyond the company itself. They affect public trust, investor confidence, and even national debates on the future of technology. This interplay between politics and business has transformed Tesla's challenges into a public matter of state. The decisions made in private are now subject to public judgment, and every change in strategy is discussed as if it were a matter of national importance. The pressure to take action is increasing, and every move is overseen by both supporters and critics. In this charged environment, political and corporate maneuvers are not separate issues. They are intertwined parts of a single, developing issue. The measures taken in response to the backlash are brave and far-reaching. New quality control protocols are being introduced, and customer service operations are undergoing radical changes. At the same time, political talks continue to change the regulatory framework within which Tesla must operate. Tesla's fighting back hard. Sweeping reforms, political pressure, and an entire company scrambling to undo the damage. But here's the billion-dollar question. Is it too little, too late? After the protests, the scandals, and the shattered trust, can Tesla actually recover? What comes next? After the storm of protests, media uproar, and political interventions, Tesla now finds itself at a crossroads. The intense backlash has left its mark on every aspect of the company, and the future remains unknown. The challenges are more than technical. They run deep into the heart of public trust and corporate identity. The mistakes and protests have contributed to a persistent feeling of doubt about whether the vision can survive reality. Investors are watching closely as Tesla struggles to balance innovation with accountability. The company's stock has experienced wild fluctuations, a reflection of a market that is uncertain about the path forward. The public's confidence, once buoyed by promises of a new era in transportation, has been eroded by several setbacks that seem to accumulate with every new report. There is some noticeable tension, a sense that every new decision could tip the balance either toward recovery or further decline. Efforts are underway to address the deep-rooted issues that have come to define Tesla's current state. New protocols are being established to ensure that quality is not sacrificed in the race to innovate. Customer service systems are being modified to provide more reliable support, and every technical flaw is being scrutinized with renewed vigor. Yet, despite these measures, the path forward remains unknown. The legacy of rapid expansion and broken promises continues to haunt the company, and the question remains whether these efforts will be enough to rebuild trust. For many, the aftermath is a reminder that revolutionary change comes with steep costs. The promise of a sustainable, innovative future has been tempered by the harsh realities of implementation and the pressures of public judgment. There is a collective sense that the era of unchecked ambition may be over, and that a new balance between innovation and responsibility must be struck if Tesla is to survive in the long term. This uncertain future is felt not only in financial markets and corporate fields, but also in the everyday lives of those who once believed in the promise of change. The persistent doubts and cautious optimism reveal a wider discussion about the cost of advancement. As Tesla works to correct its course, each move will be watched closely, and every new challenge will test the resilience of a company that has already been pushed to its limits. The future remains unwritten, and every day brings new questions about whether the dream of a revolution in transportation can be sustained amidst the harsh glare of public reality. But behind the headlines and press releases, beyond the stock prices and damage control, there's something far more volatile fueling Tesla's chaos. Whispers, rumors of boardroom mutinies, shadow deals with regulators. What people are saying. Amid clear facts and public actions, there remains a steady stream of talks and chatter. In countless online discussions and private conversations, unconfirmed talks and speculative ideas swirl around Tesla's fate. There are hints of internal conflicts that have yet to be made public, suggestions of secret meetings with government officials, and even talks of potential mergers that could change the company's destiny overnight. Every piece of unverified information fuels the debate. It keeps interest alive, even as hard facts struggle to catch up with rampant speculation. These circulating incidents serve as a reminder that in a landscape as volatile as today's technology markets, not every detail is set in stone. The blend of fact and speculation creates an environment where every slight hint is magnified into a potential turning point. While some of these accounts may fade away, others promise to become significant topics in the days to come. The uncertainty itself becomes a driving force in a story that is still very much in progress. This journey has taken us deep into the heart of Tesla's story, a tale of exceptional ambition, great public backlash, and raw realities that leave no detail untouched. If you want to stay ahead of every twist and turn in this ongoing saga, make sure you check out the next video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so that you never miss an update on this developing story. Your engagement is what drives this conversation forward, and every view helps us bring you the complete picture of a narrative that is far from over.